Hey guys. Hi. I had a dream of T.B. Joshua visiting me. Well, I visited him. It started off like I was on a search. I was with a friend of mine's, and his name was Derek. Yes. I was like, man. So what happened is that I was going up to T.B. Joshua and I was telling him I was chosen. And he deciphered from me. And it was like everything that I was bringing up to him, it was brought into an acknowledgement to where he couldn't show a reaction to be able to do something. And the thing about it is that there was 3 divisions of the church. One of them, and all of them had a different substance of things that was given to them. Like say there was, like, he was in this area, and then there was an area right here, and then there was an area over here, just to give you a picture of how it was looking that I was going through. And I was in Nigeria, and I was walking the streets, and so I was like, where's T.B. Joshua at? I really need to speak to him. And so when I got in front of him, his words that was with me, he said, God, he said, I see that you're going for the work of the Lord, but God is not with us. But when he said with us, it was more directly into the words with me. And I was real mad about that. I was real mad. I was like, why won't you bless me? Why won't you bless me? And I'm looking at the vision, but it is in a currency of the rhythm. Even though you're hearing the words, they're giving it off spiritually. So you'll have to hear it spiritually because I'm recording. And as many rules as you know, the more games you get to play. Remember, don't be lame as often. But let me continue. So I was approaching, walking through the streets, and there was a bushel, like like somebody built a concrete and put plants in it, and you walk right by, and it's kind of like that kind of high to you. And I was walking by, and I can see him in a car, but then the way that the diagonal was, it's like he was kind of above me, but I was still walking by, and I was like, yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's him. That's T.B. Joshua right there. That's T.B. Joshua right there. And you know what I'm talking about? Because you have narrators while you're in your vision. You know what I'm talking about? So that's why a lot of dreams don't really come off as they really need to, is because you have a narrator, and usually they're coming to audit. And you know what I'm talking about? And so basically he used his ability to hinder me instead of the appropriate accomplishment that it was like, how come? You know what I'm talking about? It was like whatever he was doing will always produce the words, how come for me. And you know what I'm talking about? And like I said, you know what I'm talking about? Everybody know the prayer. It says, when will thy will be done? You know what I'm talking about? So it was put me into the point of being hollow for to borrow for tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about? And learning how to be hollow. I said, but I really didn't like it because I was rejected. And no matter if I'm rejected or not, I'm a person of wisdom. You know what I'm talking about? I will seek forth a Blue's Clues, and therefore put forth an instruction, and hopefully I don't be grieved to speak it as a commandment. But as it went on, when I woke up, like in the division of waking up and then going under a little bit more, I seen my friend named Derek. And the thing that I didn't like about this is that this is when the dream became perverted. And it was like, I'm not going to, like TB Joshua said, he said, the way the sense of it and then the narration is like, I'm not going to give it to you, but I'm going to give it to him. And that's how you're going to get it. And in that state of me being now awake, I would say it must be given. Do not pretend, do not contend, and do not consent for nothing. Yeah. You must be blessed out of Zion as its place. And the reason why I was so intrigued is because I'm like, I want to get out of America and go to Nigeria. And I was really seeing that the vision was like, if you do go, he's going to deny you because he know your placement. But the way that my placement is that it's kind of a deny. Like I told him in a dream, I said, if you do anything for me, you're gonna have to care. And to my that's what switched the vision. And then I seen Derek, and then next thing you know, it was a woman with him, and he was having intercourse with her, and that's when I say it got perverted. And then so I was like, to my what's going on. And then when the lady departed from him, she was robed and she went into a house, and she said, we finna go see my mother. And then so I go up there, and I follow up the stairs and stuff, and I see in the first room, she just lying on the bed on her chest, and she looked up, she said, hey, go in the next room and say hey. So I see a man, and I see this man, and she was like, he proceeded to be my uncle, he's like my dad, but he's definitely not my brother. And then so I was like, so what's going on here? And then so next thing you know, it was like my friend Derek was looking around and saying, and like I said, I didn't know if he was aware of the blessing, but he was probably spiritually aware of the blessing. And it was like he was doing stuff to make sure he was in placement before it was given to me. And like I said, it wasn't kind of like the placement of like, oh, I'm gonna try to do it before you because I'm jealous or anything. It was just like, to me, it was like, if I don't, then I don't have placement, and then I won't be. To me, that's how it came off. That's how it came off. And then so I was seeing her. She went downstairs and went kind of upstairs, and then there was like another level, and it was like a restaurant. It was like a cafeteria restaurant kind of little area. And they had pizza, they had the drink machines and stuff. And I said, "Oh, you got your own restaurant, bitch?" She said, Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's cool." And then I was brought back into the vision of saying, "But you messed around with my friend Derek." And it was more like, I know you ain't gonna be able to do nothing with me. You see what I'm saying? So when I was like, at that point in time, I was in the vision. I was like, what happened to TB Joshua? And then it didn't change the vision. It was like I was in I play Black Ops 2, and there's a thing where the machine goes, and but then you see all the muddy area, but it looked like you're in like a cockpit, like a rank of the army would be at, and they setting up stuff so they can walk certain ways and do everything and have everything built up. I think it's called I know it's not called Burn. The Burn is the other one, but it's another one. I don't want to really turn on my game, but it's like a World War II setting or something, World War One setting or something, and just that muddy area thing. That's what I was going through, and a little bit, and like when I woke up, I was thinking, I was like, why would everything is like I said, they Blue's Clues, because it's in a provision. I'm talking about a good provision. Therefore, you have to do an evil solution for a good redemption to cross the bridge again. Is how I put it. You know what I'm talking about? So in other words, I can cross the bridge again, and maybe it can come the correct way, but you can't taint that which has already happened, and it's already been proven in its similarity the best way that it could and that it can. So, you know what I'm talking about? It was probably a spirit that was accumulating information and saying, let's put this before the judgment. You know what I'm talking about? And usually judgment happens after, um, uh, during the death, and then after the death, you enter into your rest. And I was kind of mad because I was like, wow. It wasn't even like, why would he bless me? It wasn't really like, why wouldn't he acknowledge me? It was more like I was saying, why won't you inquire for me? You know, to my dad, that's how I was faced with it. I was like, why you being the prophet that you are, why won't you inquire for me? And and you know, to my it was more like the area of him saying, well, since you're around, I'm gonna be done, instead of really doing it, instead of caring. It was kind of like me seeing him, and like I said, it was different divisions, and it was a point in time when he was sitting on the chair with other one, like with his members around him, and he was sitting on the chair analyzing. And you know, I'm going into details. I already explained the dream all the way through, but you know, to my it was like you know, he was sitting there and he was analyzing, and he would give me something, but he was like, bam, there you go, and I was like, oh, you know what I'm talking about? It was kind of like adjudication. You know what I'm talking about? And it was, he wanted to perceive as a council member. And I was like, oh, oh, you know what I'm talking about? Because I'm very active in my states. You know what I'm talking about? And like I said, you really don't remember, but you know what I'm talking about? It's like when you wake up, you have your proposals of shame that you have to face when you go towards your day. As I like to say, you know, when you wake up, you get your proposal of shame, just like the newspaper at your front door, and you open up your door and you read it, and you say, "Oh, what a shame!" You see what I'm saying? That's the news. Mm-hmm. So you know what I'm talking about? I really wanted to do that because I was really thinking. He was like, "Yeah, you can have placement in Nigeria, but we got to deliver up the spirit that you have." And I was like, no. I was like, no, you cannot mess with me. I said, because it, to me, now I'm speaking now as being recording. I was like, to me, you know, to my, where I am is where I be. And no matter from that extent, you know, what I'm talking about, my course that I have taken allow you to have your placement and allow other people to be in their placement. And I said, unless someone give up the ghost. You see what I'm saying? So and then when someone give up the ghost, you know, your altar. You know what I'm talking about? Because like I said, there was three in the beginning: the word, the image, and the likeness. And therefore you shall keep no graven images, nor no likenesses, because they said, let us make man in our image. And he even knew the numbers on your head. Merry Christmas.